Good morning, y'all. I was wondering if somebody else was experiencing the same thing that I've been experiencing. So, I'm the type of person that I love to get on TikTok and watch financial videos. And a lot of the times when I would get on there and watch them, it could be a little bit discouraging. And I say that because it's like I watch people talk about how much they've saved, and then they'll do the green screen where they'll show what they've saved $500,000 or they've saved $1 million. And it's like, I'm looking at that and I'm thinking, there's no way on my salary or my income that I'm going to be able to save that amount of money. It almost seemed impossible for me. So what I had to do was I had to change my mindset. And I'm sure you guys are going, well, what did that look like? For me, I had to come to the realization that I had to do something different today than what I had done on yesterday. So what did that look like? So I realized when I would do my budgeting, I didn't have a whole lot of money left over. So it's like sometimes you just have to come to the realization that you're just not making enough. Like you can go through and pay your rent, your light, your water, your cable, your internet, and all of that, and then it's looking like you don't have nothing left at the end of that. And so I had to come to the realization that I just simply wasn't making enough money at that time. So what did I do? I decided to go back to school. I went back to school and I got my degree in social work. And with me getting my degree in social work, I was able to get me a job as a social worker. And then, of course, my income increased. But at that time, I was like, well, if I'm able to increase my income simply by going to school, what else can I do to increase it? So I decided to become a licensed social worker. And that allowed me to get a promotion at work, which ultimately increased my income. So I had to come to the realization that at that time I was just simply not making enough money to be able to save what I wanted to save. So now I'm currently working on getting my clinical license, and I'm hoping to be able to apply for different roles within my, at my job. So I'm hoping to be able to move up. Something else that I did was I had to separate my bill, where my money would be taken out for bills versus my savings account. So I use Fidelity as my high yield savings account, and I use a credit union just to like pay my bills. And for me, separating those two allowed me to save, because it's like if I can keep my bill money over here, my fund money over here, I'm less likely to touch my savings. I'm not saying that I haven't, but it did help. It improved that. Something else that I did, I had to create an emergency fund. And I did that because when I had my car that I used to have, it was like something would happen maintenance wise and it would set me back. And anytime I felt like I was having a setback, it discouraged me from like my savings goal. So by me creating an emergency fund, it put me in a position where I was prepared if something came up, so that way I didn't feel like I was experiencing a setback. So right now I'm trying to work on saving 3 to 6 months of my bill money, so I'll be good. So I'm working on that. Something else that I did was I had to stop being lazy. I had a habit of, on my off days, sitting around watching TikTok videos, watching TV, and then laying around all day. And then I would have DoorDash delivered. And it's like, Francesca, like you've literally been laying down all day long. At the very least, you can just get in your car and go get your food. You're just being lazy. And that you being lazy is causing you to have to pay more money out of pocket for food. So you're paying $20 for something that might have been $5 or $6. So I stopped being lazy. I started going to get my food, and I stopped having my food, my groceries delivered. So I cut that out. Something else that I had to do was I had to educate myself. So, for example, if I'm in a store that I enjoy going to, instead of just going and looking at the housing stuff or looking at stuff that I'm probably not going to do anything with, I would walk back to the back and I would look at the book section, and I would learn more about how to invest in stocks and my retirement accounts. So I tried to educate myself, because I felt that whenever I would try to buy stocks on my own or just invest, for me, it was a lot easier to do when I felt I gained more knowledge and understanding on what I was doing. So I educated myself. Something else, and this is probably going to be one of the most important things that I've realized, is that I had to learn to pay myself first. So you're probably going, what does that mean? For me, that means that before my check hits my account, I make sure I put money into my 401k. I make sure I put money to my Roth IRA. And of course, I'm making sure money goes to my high yield savings account. So I am taking care of Francesca first. Before I take care of AT&T, before I take care of Honda, I'm taking care of Francesca first. So I learned to pay myself first. And of course, that goes back to sometimes you just have to learn to increase your income so you're able to reach your savings goals. And then you guys know when I started the video, I had stated that sometimes when I would watch videos of people who would talk about how much they've been able to save, and then they'll have $500,000, $1 million on their green screen showing how much they were able to save, and I felt like that was just not attainable. Something that has helped me is being able to follow small creators as well as big creators. So like those small creators that's just now starting out, where their financial goals seem a bit more attainable for me versus a larger creator who saved $1 million. And not only that, I had to learn that comparison is the thief of joy. Simply because this person was able to save $500,000, $1 million doesn't mean that I'm expected to be where they are. I have to set my own goals that are individualized to me. Because even with me now talking about what has worked for me, it might not even work for the person that's watching this video. You know, you have to figure out what your financial goals is, and then you have to set an individualized plan that's going to work specific to you, because what works for me might not work for you. So yeah, that's kind of where I am, and these are just some of the things that I have done that have kind of helped me slowly reach my financial goal. Because at one time my account said that I had only saved maybe $20K, and now I finally reached a goal. I finally reached saving about $65K between my retirement account and my investments account. So I'm slowly getting there, and I'm okay with that because this is what's working for me. So I hope you guys are able to take something away from this video, and if not, just do what works for you. Bye, y'all.